What I'm going to do today is to read a narration that I've written to reflect my thoughts on this wonderful space that's been a part of my life since about 1958 in different ways. I'm going to call this piece Other White British. I'm grateful for this opportunity that Anthony Gormley has given me to stand here today. There's a gentleman down there who would rather be here, and I don't blame him. It's very good up here.
My name is Michelle Lowe, and I'm carrying out this interview on behalf of the Wellcome Trust for the One Another Project. The date today is the 4th of September 2009, and the time is now 7:25 a.m.
It's actually the 4th of October.
Oh, the 4th of October. Thank you, Andrew. Could you tell me your name, your age, and where you're from, please?
Yeah, my name's Andrew Lowe, and I'm 58 years old. I live in Innerleithen in the beautiful Scottish Borders, where I'm the Director of Social Work for Scottish Borders Council. I just have fun out of life, really. I want to be a part of this. I want to play a part in it that is meaningful, while walking the line between, of course, I'm a senior public official, so I don't have a private life in that sense, because as a director of social work, which is always a contentious business, I have to be seen to be maintaining a fair ground, not party political, and not being too outre in any particular way. So,
do you find that constraining?
Yeah, it can be. Yeah, but because I think, particularly in social work, it inclines you to have views about politics when you see the underlife of, the challenges that people face, and some of the injustices that people face, and one develops ideas about sorting things out like that, and then you can feel constrained in terms of what you can say. But what I'm wanting to do today is to construct a narrative that's about social justice, drawing on inspiration from this square, really, and to try and paint a picture that takes different sources from different parts of the spectrum.
Can you tell me more about that?
Well, obviously this is a world-renowned civic space. It's full of pomp and circumstance and imperial history, but there's a kind of a subtext and narrative of opposition and protest, and some of the important social events in my life and the centuries preceding it have been enacted here. So I want to draw on some of that, but I also there's a kind of another narrative that's about what I think about when I see this place and around about it. So it will fire off thoughts about things that didn't happen here, but that have a resonance for me with the things that did. So I'm going to be talking about the Peasants' Revolt, and quoting John Ball.
In the beginning, all men by their nature were created alike, and our bondage or servitude came in by unjust oppression of naughty men. For if God would have had any bondmen from the beginning, he would have appointed who should be bond and who should be free. And therefore I exhort you to consider that now the time has come appointed to us by God, in which ye may, if ye will, cast off the yoke of bondage and recover your liberty.
Looking down the Strand and thinking about the Inns of Court where I kicked off my career, I'll reflect on Gandhi, who was in a temple advocate, and quoting from him. But I want to bring it up to date, the riots, the early days, the Communist Party, Eleanor Marx, suffragettes and Sylvia Pankhurst, poll tax riots. gay pride, and my Justice Minister, Kenny McCaskill.
Secretary McCaskill spoke for me and for many around the world, including Nelson Mandela, when he took the decision to release Abdul Basit Ali al-Megrahi, the Lockerbie bomber. He said, "In Scotland, we are a people who pride ourselves on our humanity. It is viewed as a defining characteristic of Scotland and the Scottish people. The perpetration of an atrocity and an outrage cannot and should not be a basis for losing sight of who we are, the values we seek to uphold, and the faith and beliefs by which we seek to live. Our justice system demands that judgment be imposed, but compassion be available. Our beliefs dictate that justice be served, but mercy be shown. Compassion and mercy are about upholding the beliefs that we seek to live by, remaining true to our values as a people, no matter the severity of the provocation or the atrocity perpetrated."
I don't also think we should take lessons from people who waterboard people and take part in extraordinary rendition of prisoners. So I think, we don't really want to take lessons from Hillary Clinton, and I will mention that. And then I want to close with a reflection on my personal experience over 50 years of Trafalgar Square, and wrap it up at that.
When was the first time you came here? Can you remember?
1958, I think. Yeah, feeding pigeons. Yeah. Just looking up at Nelson and thinking, Jesus. So. But then, a series of anti-Vietnam protests, banned the bombing, against Reagan's bombing of Libya, to free John McCarthy from Beirut.
Were you actively engaged in those?
Yeah. Well, actively, I wasn't a leader of those, but I was a participant.
What's like your day-to-day role? What does it involve?
Well, it's many parts and every day is different, but I'm a corporate director of the council, which means I have to concern myself with the running of the authority, which might deal with, at the moment, H1N1 flu preparation and planning, or a whole range of things that are nothing to do with social work, but are about the management of the business in the council. But it means being the leader of 1,500 staff and trying to shape and take direction for social work services and make sure that we provide a quality service to vulnerable people, frail people, children in my part of Scotland. So every day, as I say, is different. Some days are very exciting, like tomorrow, where I will be launching a dementia strategy and talking to lots of people who are passionate about caring services, or talking to inspectors about equalities tomorrow as well. I've got two things there. Other days are quite dull and sitting crunching emails like everybody else. But trying to be responsive to events, to try and see things that are coming on the horizon, and to plan against them is very important. So, you see, making sure that one has sufficient staff and resources to do the job, making sure that we're listening to the latest information, being attuned to the tragedies that occur. Baby Peter in Haringey, or Brandon Muir in Dundee, these terrible child deaths, reflecting on what might have happened and trying to make sure that we can provide services that will really stop those sort of things happening. Of course, it's terribly difficult. It's a very complex world. I'm going to say in my speech that to be a social worker is a bit like being a referee at a football game, because you've got 50,000 people who know the right decision in the crowd, and you they always think you've got it wrong and they've got it right. So you're under a spotlight, and I think that makes it when children's lives and older people's lives, disabled people's lives can be at risk. It means that you have to have a fun and a relaxed approach to work to make it happen. You also have to be deadly serious, and you have to be very very alert. So it's an interesting and it's a complex business, but I wouldn't do anything.
Is there anything else you'd like to say before you go up on the plinth?
Just thank you to Anthony Gormley, really. It's been a great opportunity to just capture some lives. And grateful.
Thank you very much indeed.
And in this year, 2009, of popular revolt against parliamentary abuse of privilege, I remember Oliver Cromwell, the member for Huntingdon, who described the situation in the 20th of April, 1653. It is high time for me to put an end to your sitting in this place, which you have dishonoured by your contempt of all virtue. You've defiled by your practice of every vice. Ye are a factious crew, and enemies to all good government. Ye venal slaves, be gone! Take away that shining bauble there and lock up the doors. In the name of God, go! We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I have a dream that one day, on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream today. And so here, on the other plinth, at 8:50, on the 4th of October, 2009, I make my stand for the other. Thank you for listening if you have been.